Welcome to the Cordios Tribe. This is Alan, and I'm your host. Let's get into this. All right, welcome to the Cordios podcast. So I know that we talked a lot about masculinity, testosterone, things like that. I would like to give my 2 cents. I want to reiterate that I am not a professional by any means. I am not a doctor. Any of the things that I tell you, take with a grain of salt. Make sure that you do your own research. So with that said, the ways that I have been able to raise my testosterone and also with dieting, I'm going to go over 3 things: dieting, exercise, and what I take as supplements. So as far as dieting, I eat mostly meat. I would say meat, eggs, cheese, and yogurt. Those are the main things that I eat for my diet. Sometimes I will do fruit outside of that for some carbs, for some light carbs, and making sure that I drink tons of water. Coffee is great. If you need it as a upper to go to the gym, do what you need to do. It's great for that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would like to say that if you're drinking a lot of coffee, the caffeine in there, and you can do some research on this, the caffeine in there can actually make your adrenal glands put too much adrenaline into your body and overwork the adrenal glands. And after a while, what'll happen is the adrenal glands are not doing their job anymore. And so when the adrenal glands are tired, right, then they will not do what they're supposed to do. When your adrenal glands kick in, when you are running, when you go to the gym, when you're deadlifting, whatever you're doing, they will stop doing that because they are relying on caffeine to do that for it. Okay. It's basically sending the wrong signals to the adrenal gland. So that's something to look into. And then you have things like your energy drinks, which is a lot of chemicals and a lot of vitamins that you don't really need. So you're overcompensating your body with these vitamins. So that's dieting, okay? I would say that in the last 2 months, I've switched to eating a lot more meat. That's what I eat pretty much for every meal. And I would say I do about a 12-hour fast in between each meal. So I will eat a bunch of meat. I maybe have a little bit of rice, maybe if I feel like I need some carbs or I need something to burn up. And then I do my cheese, my eggs, and yogurt if I want a snack, and maybe a little bit of fruit. So it's not completely 100% carnivore diet. I know that. So since I've been doing that, I will say that I have felt much more alive, much more rested. I feel like I'm getting a lot cleaner energy, and I mostly stay away from carbs. So things like cheap carbs, bread, spaghetti, noodles, things like that. If you're younger, you may not have anything to worry about. I know some younger guys out there can eat that stuff and it really doesn't bug them. But as you get older, it may help you to switch over to a carnivore only diet. So that's the dieting part. The second part is fitness. So what I've noticed with me is that my testosterone goes up when I run a lot or when I rucksack. I have a 65-pound bag that I put on my back, and I take that and go to some places here in my city that are pretty treacherous when it comes to hiking. And I take that with me and I do 3 to 4 miles, and I try to do that at least twice a week. Now, I noticed that gives me a lot more energy. Yes, I'm tired, but as long as I drink a lot of water, I do pretty well. So there's that. And then there's also deadlifting. Deadlifting has been proven scientifically, again, check it, to raise testosterone in men. So I think anything that you are doing to challenge yourself and challenge your body and kind of push your body to the limit is going to lift your testosterone. Obviously, staying away from things like, I know I touched on diet a minute ago, but staying away from things like fast food, being lazy, laying around, going out and eating a huge dinner and coming back and laying down is a really bad habit to get into. So that's my thing for diet and for exercising. Running is another good one. Right now, I am in a state where we get a lot of snow, so it's kind of hard to go running unless you're a snow guy. I'm not. So I go to places like the gym, and do like the sled pulls, right? They have the sled pulls. You can put the weights on it and pull the sleds across, across the floor. That is something that you could do in place of going and running. Last night, I did about 295 pounds on a sled and was running with that across the floor back and forth. So just an idea. If you live in a place where it gets really cold, it may not be sufficient for you to be able to go out and run. Now, for the third one, the supplements that I take, which I think, in my opinion, is probably one of the most important things. I take creatine every single morning. I also take vitamin B complex, Tunga Ali, and I also take Testosterone, which I know that there's mixed reviews on that kind of stuff out there, and maybe I might do a more in-depth review at some point. But I will tell you right now, maybe Testosterone by itself, you might not really feel a difference, but if you put that Tunga Ali with the Testosterone, you will absolutely feel a difference. Especially if you're taking creatine, Testosterone, and the Tunga Ali, you will feel a massive difference in your testosterone, in your energy, your mood, all of those things. It changes all of it. I've felt great since I've been taking it. I'm on day 4 today. So the other one that I take as well, I don't do a lot of pre-workouts. Again, we're getting back into caffeine and drowning out your adrenal glands. I'm a proponent of making sure that you let your adrenal glands do exactly what they're supposed to do. So the less caffeine that you have, the more your adrenal glands will kind of take over, and like the fight or flight type thing will take over when you are going and working out and things like that. If you need caffeine, do it. I'm not telling anybody what to do. So if you guys like what I'm doing and you like this video, you like the information that I'm giving, I just wanted to take a minute to step away from the episodes that I'm doing on masculinity and kind of talk about the ways that we can combat this, because it's one thing to know about what's going on, but it's a whole nother thing on, okay, we know what's happening. We know what they're trying to do to us. Well, how do we fix it? How do we backpedal this? How do we work on ourselves to make the situation better? I think another thing is too, may sound crazy, but staying away from social media. Social media is a cancer, and I think that it does more to stress out the brain and make us tired and make us want to sleep all the time. So I think that also has a lot to do with our testosterone too. So don't listen to anything negative out there, fellas. You're all doing great. Keep lifting weights, keep going to the gym, and keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.